Welcome everyone to Mascot Roundup with announcer Jill Goman, Charlie's Garage Band, the JCS TV Tech Team. Guests this evening include Dr. Susan Offutt, the Washington High School Drum Majors, Kirsten Hill from Ranson Elementary School, Superintendent Dr. Bondi Gibson, and members of the Washington High School Ag Science Department. Please welcome tonight's host, Haley Werner.
Okay, Jill, who's our first guest?
Our first guest, Haley, is Dr. Suzanne Offutt and Monica Grabowska. Dr. Suzanne is the principal at Shepherdstown Elementary School and would like to introduce us to a new type of grading system at the elementary schools. From Shepherdstown Elementary School, please welcome Dr. Suzanne Offutt and Monica Grabowski.
Okay, so welcome to Mascot Roundup. How's it feel to be the very first guest? Well, you know, years from now when the show is on national television. Okay, maybe premature, but you never know. Anyways, thanks for being on the show. So, for our first question, what is a standard-based report card, and how does it differ from the traditional report cards that we are most familiar with?
Well, a standards-based report card is something that's been around for about 20 years in the literature of looking at how can we improve school functioning. And standards-based is a reflection of the Common Core standards that all of us are now familiar with in a positive or a negative way. But standards say, instead of outlining a curriculum about just a general curriculum, standards are set that says, I expect a student to be able to do these kinds of things by the end of the year. And so the grading is done, it's no longer really a concept of grading. It's reporting out to the student and to their parents that your child mastered these standards or is progressing toward those standards. Traditional report cards now are letter grades. They've been around for about 100 years. And even in 1914, there's a great article in the literature that says, you know, this is really not working. It does not communicate well to students or to parents, and we ought to abandon this system. But here we are, 100 years later, still using it.
That's really interesting. What inspired Shepherdstown Elementary to undertake this project?
Well, a number of years ago, we realized that traditional grading does not really work well in terms of sharing out with students what it is that they already know, what their deficits are, what they need to learn. And so particularly in the early grades, it's very important to communicate to a child, not that you have a B in reading, but what is it about reading that you still need to work on? So we moved toward a standards-based kind of report card in grades 1 and 2 in 2007. And so we tried it. We were a pilot school for that all those years ago. And it was very successful. Parents were very pleased to get this kind of a report out on their students. And so it was a pilot at Shepherdstown Elementary, then it was adopted by the county, and then the state came along, and if any of you have students in first and second grades, now you realize that all across the state it is a standards-based report card. So we've waited this number of years to have this concept migrate to at least the upper elementary grades.
What has been your process for developing this report card?
Well, the first thing we did was we were approached by the C&I staff here in Jefferson County Schools and said, gosh, we remember that you were a pilot school for the early grades. Are you interested in piloting this again? And of course we said, sure, right? And we met with the Board of Education members in the spring, talked to them about this concept, reminded them of what was going on in the early grades, and then that we were prepared to do the kind of work that it was going to take to roll out something like this for the upper grades. Ms. Grabowska, would you like to share out some of the work that we've done this past summer?
Yeah, we've, many of the staff members in the upper grade levels at our school took an online course through the summer, got together to talk about that, and then when we came back, it was a matter of looking at our curriculum and reworking some of our assessments and making sure that we were all on the same page with how we were going to assess, and putting all of that together, making sure our language would be the same, that we all understood and could communicate it not only to each other, but also our students and then ultimately their parents.
We're getting ready to make a field trip up to Washington County Schools, which is in its 4th year of using standards-based report cards. So we're making a field trip up there, and they're going to open up to us their process of, we're getting to do observations in their classrooms of their reading and their math instruction. And then we're getting an opportunity to sit in with their teacher teams, along with their lead teachers and their principal, and see the process that they go through of examining the current assessments, how students are doing, and then planning the incremental instruction based on what those results are.
Okay, what will be your next steps in introducing and implementing this new report card?
Well, next steps would be, of course, completing that observation. We still have to choose eventually the reporting tool that we're going to use. Live grades is something that all of you all are familiar with, and it really does not lend itself well to a new style of reporting like this. So we're also choosing a new prototype that we'll use as the reporting tool, and then we will finish that out over the course of this first semester. And then we'll start our process of getting this word out to the community, the public. This is one of our first steps to do this, so we really appreciate this opportunity. One of the critical things to do is to meet with parents and make sure that they're informed and they understand what this process is.
Right, because your report card will look very different.
Right.
It's no longer A, B, C, D, or F. And it's no longer just a grade in reading, a grade in math. It's in mathematics, this student can or almost can add, using the standard algorithm, 3-digit numbers. So it's very specific and lets parents know this is what your child can do, and this is what your child is working on and hasn't gotten yet.
So that would help the parents also help the student.
Exactly.
Makes sense. What do you see in the future impact of this project for other Jefferson County schools?
I really expect that based on the past experience with the early grades, that initially it will look kind of surprising to parents, although all of them have been through this for grades 1 and 2. But I think that eventually they will begin to understand the value of this, the information that it communicates to them. One of the underlying principles of standards-based that I neglected to share out is that we look at students learning over time. And I really have to give credit to Rob Perks for this analogy a number of years ago. If you are in a standards-based system and say you're introduced to a new concept and you don't quite get it at first, and so your teacher gives you a little assessment of that, a little quiz, and you end up with, just like 20% on that quiz. And the next quiz you maybe are doing better, so you've gotten 50% of those questions. By the end of the 9-week marking period, you've got this concept nailed. You are getting 90%, 100% on your assessments. Well, in a traditional model, that 20% that you had and that 50%, they're going to drag you down. And no matter what you do, by the end of that marking period, you're going to end up with a C at best. What if we change that whole paradigm and say, we are appreciative that at the beginning, you only were understanding 20% of the material. And we can see that this is the kind of work that you need. And we work with you and we instruct specifically to what it is that you don't understand. And what we really should be doing is giving you a huge compliment and acknowledging how much progress you made over time. And so a standards-based report card says, we care that this is where you were at the beginning, but we most want to present out where you were at the end. We drop that the 20%, the 50% don't mean anything. Where you are at the end is what matters. The analogy that Rob Perks gave to me a number of years ago was, I guess it's kind of like somebody running a race, and they're really a good runner, and they start off, there goes, the gun goes off, and they jump out, and they trip, and they stumble a little bit, and the whole crowd is moving out ahead of them, and they're behind. But they are such a skilled runner that they put everything into it. They work really hard, and they pass everybody in the group. But oh my goodness, under an ABC report card, we'd have to take that first 10 seconds of the race and give them a 0. And then as they were moving up, we'd have to give they're only like at 30% and only 50%. Well, yes, they won the race, but you know, on the average, they were just in the middle of the pack. Is that really fair?
Yeah.
Is that really representing the kind of runner or the kind of student they are?
I guess it's not. That's a it's a really good analogy. That was our last question. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Susan Offutt and Monica Grabowski.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And then from this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore.
Show up
And frustration,
absorb
a
what
tool,
people are giving you.
not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible.
And then we're going to turn the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
Finally won.
What's your reaction gonna be? Yeah, exactly.
And unconventional methods
Okay, what else?
common.
Tadpoles, the frogs, because this is their world.
There's nothing.
Punch them, then they die. Go ahead, go, go, go.
I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Mascot Roundup on JCS Television. Okay, Jill, what's up?
All right, Haley, our next guests are the drum majors from Washington High School Patriots Band. Please welcome from Washington High School, Mary Ball, Dara Insikame, and Ian Calhoun.
What kind of work goes into performing in those types of competitions and stuff?
In just competitions, it takes hours upon hours upon hours of rehearsal, first of all. It requires 120 people to just focus in and hone in all their skills so that they can learn this 8.5 minute show. And for competitions, it requires a lot of organization. Like all the volunteers, all the parents, all the students, Mr. Shaw and Ms. Hazlett, our band directors, they all have to focus on organizing the events, making sure all the bands are there, making sure the judges are ready, making sure everyone's on time. And it's very complicated.
It requires a lot of communication between everyone. The judges, our boosters, we are one here. I'm very lucky to have one of the boosters. And a lot of emails going back and forth for months. So.
I understand we have a marching competition hosted here. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. Okay, so along with the marching band, what are some of the other ensembles that Washington High School provides?
Well, we have the concert band, the wind ensemble, and the jazz ensemble.
Yeah, we have jazz ensemble. We also have several combo groups in the jazz ensemble.
We also have our drum and our steel band.
Yep.
And they're a lot of fun.
So we have two concert bands in the program. What are some of the differences between the two?
Our wind ensemble plays a lot more harder grade music than our concert band, and it's an opportunity for our students that want to make a profession of music and are very dedicated towards music and have a lot of free time to practice. A lot of free time to practice because it requires a lot of time. The wind ensemble is a lot of fun, but it does require a lot of dedication. Our concert band is more for technique, and if you don't feel comfortable being in an audition, concert band is not worse. It is definitely not that. They do play hard music, and if you don't feel up to the task of, putting all the effort into an audition, don't feel comfortable auditioning in front of people, then concert band is definitely the choice for you.
It also, if you're a member of the concert band and let's say there's another person in your section who's much better than you and they get all the solos, I've been there, on both sides, I would say. The people who are probably more committed are in the wind ensemble and they're extremely difficult literature, but then the people in the concert band have the ability to have a solo or have a really cool part without having to dealing with all the competition.
What other performance opportunities are available for band students outside of Washington High School?
Actually, I'd like to answer this one. I wasn't sure if you two were going to answer it.
It's all yours.
Well, I'm very happy to live here and be a musician here because there are a lot of performance opportunities. There's the Charles Washington Orchestra, which I was a part of a few years ago. It's very cool, and it's a growing organization. They even have a youth orchestra. I heard they have a youth orchestra. The Shepherd Prep Orchestra, it's like it's part of the preparatory division at Shepherd University, and they have college students and high school students in the same orchestra, and they learn from each other, and I'm a member of that ensemble, and I personally think it's amazing. There's the Hagerstown Municipal Band, which I know a few members of Jefferson's band is a part of. I mean, there are dozens of performance venues.
What are some opportunities for our communities to come and support the bands here at Washington High School?
Well, as you said, the community come to us. We also have a marching band classic on October 10th. Yay. We have 13 bands coming to attend, so it's a great opportunity for the people in our community to come and see not only our band, but others from 3 states. So, and we play all home football games, and it's just a lot of fun all around. All around, a lot of fun.
That sounds incredible. Mary Ball, Darren Sixmay, and Ian Calhoun, everybody. We'll be right back.
Searching for help with Dachshund breeding.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent?
What?
Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Okay, we're back. So, Jill, what's up?
Our next guest is a first-year teacher from Ranson Elementary School. Please welcome Kirsten Hill.
Welcome to Mascot Roundup. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
I guess we're just going to jump right into this. So, where are you from originally?
I'm from Winchester, Virginia.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Shepherd University. Yep, close by.
Yeah. What sparked your interest in teaching?
Well, my dad is also a PE teacher. I just always grew up watching kids see him out in public and just saying, "Oh, Mr. Hill, I remember you." And so I just saw the difference that he made, and I always wanted to be just like him, make a difference in kids' lives. And so,
Why did you choose your discipline?
all kids are different, so it's just I needed to make a discipline plan that would just work for everyone. And
May I ask what that discipline plan is?
Kids aren't perfect. They're all different. They need time to figure out, what I expect of them, and that's kind of been the toughest part right now. It's just them getting used to me. I'm new. So I give them a chance to prove to me that they know how to listen and follow the rules, and if they're warned a couple times, they're just going to sit out and watch everyone else play. So I think they get bored with sitting out, so we'll get it together.
It seems fair enough. How do you like Jefferson County so far?
I love it. I went to Shepherd, so all of my field placements were in Jefferson County. I've been to a lot of the schools, middle schools. I actually was here at Washington for a little bit. I loved it. All the teachers I've worked with have been so helpful and just very kind and just willing to do whatever they can to help me out, make life easier for me. So yeah, and all the kids are great. They're all just so nice to each other, and it's great. I love Jefferson County.
Are there any hobbies or activities you do that you would like to share with our audience?
I know I should say working out, but I love shopping. I love to eat too, so I'm always down to eat for sure. But yes, physical activity. Love that too.
What was one challenging obstacle on your journey to becoming a teacher?
I didn't just wake up one day and realize that I wanted to teach. It took me time. Through high school, I didn't like school. I didn't really want to go to college, but my parents pushed me and they said, "You'll look back one day and you'll say, oh, I knew I went to college for a reason." So yeah, it took me a while to figure it out, but I finally made it through. Here I am teaching in Jefferson County. Dream job, so I'm very excited.
So parents are always right?
Yeah, they are.
Do you have any advice you might give to a public school person who aspires to go into education?
The biggest advice would be do it because you love the kids. Do it because you want to make a difference in their lives. You don't do it for the money. You really don't. You do it to have another family, and that's definitely what it is for me at Ranson. That's my family. So I just wake up and I don't feel like I'm going to work. I feel like I'm going to spend time with family. I get to see the kids. It brings a lot of joy to your life. So you just need to figure out why you're getting into education, and if it's not for those reasons, then you might want to look to do something else.
That's some amazing advice. Well, Miss Kirsten Hill, everybody. We'll be right back.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent, 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR, 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Welcome back to Mascot Roundup on JCS Television. Jill, why don't you tell us who our next guest is?
Our next guest is Dr. Bonnie Shea Gibson, Superintendent of Schools for Jefferson County. Without further ado, please welcome Dr. Gibson.
So, is this the part where everyone dances randomly, or?
She didn't just do that. This lady. I don't know. Can we do that?
I don't know. I always think back to, Saturday Night Live, and this is the portion where we dance, and they all go crazy. You never know what folks are going to do on live television.
Yeah. That's the scary part.
Apparently, I'm making her afraid. She doesn't know what I'm going to do on live television. But thank you very much for the warm welcome. I appreciate it.
Well, I heated it up for a while.
You did. You did. You've been burning it down in here.
On a s'more.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually, speaking of good smells like s'mores, it smells fantastic out there.
Yes.
You're grilling out,
that
FFA.
Is courtesy to our FFA.
Just you guys are doing, woo! All of that smells like a teaser. It's just like it's coming.
And you're like,
coming. Yeah. There's
it's hard
love.
to stay focused, you know?
Yeah, it's hard. I feel your pain. I do. So, any particular thing that you're interested in that maybe we could take questions from the audience, or?
How's that sound, everybody? Yes? No?
My God, they're terrified.
Please clap.
They're absolutely terrified.
Yeah, there you go. I think you should start the questions off.
You think I should?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. What are people often curious about? If you're not from here, a lot of times I get the question of, oh, Dr. Gibson, where did you come from? Why did you come here to Jefferson County? And I have to say, fantastic community. I was actually letting the FFA know that when I was looking at Jefferson and we were in the interview process, I went on the website to check you out, make sure you didn't have any inappropriate pictures like on Facebook or anything, and how crazy things were here. And the very first picture that I saw of Jefferson County was that enormous Mac Daddy grill that FFA had made, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is awesome. This is a place that values education, and they turn their kids loose to creating things in the real world, like meaningful things. You get excited about something, and you get enthusiastic about it, and you're like, let's go build the world's biggest grill. And somewhere along the way, a teacher went, oh yeah, let's do that. And you designed it and you built it, and something good came from it. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
So you didn't originally start out in Jefferson County. Where were you?
Right before I came here, I was in Henrico, Virginia. You can always tell when someone's from around there, because if they're not, they say Henrica, but it's not. It's Henrico, which is right outside of Richmond. I was the deputy superintendent there. We had 50,000 students and 72 schools. It's one of the 100 largest school divisions in the United States. So a little different vibe here in Jefferson. I'm loving it. It's good.
Where you only have 2 high schools.
Hey, 2 awesome high schools, 2 great high schools.
Yeah. Where did you go to school to be a superintendent?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I did my undergrad at Florida State University. Can I get a little tomahawk chop from my friends out in the audience? And then I did my master's at the University of West Georgia, and I did my doctorate in Nova Southeastern University. So I have a bachelor's degree in organizational psych, which is how to get people to work together. Winning friends and influencing people. Still working on that. My master's degree was in special education, which was actually one of the smartest things that I ever did. In many ways, everybody's special. Everybody's got some need somewhere that has to be met, and it's all about finding out what that is and making life better for them. And I got my doctorate in educational administration because I like to be in charge. I don't know, just it worked out that way.
Along with liking to be in charge, what else drives you to become a superintendent?
Oh, that's a great question. You really, I think like a lot of other people, you get involved in things and you get excited about them and you see what works and the things that are awesome, and then there are the things that make you crazy. Where you're like, if I could just go fix that, the world would be perfect. And that's what drives you to go and become an administrator, and you want to change the world, just like teachers. You know, you were in school, you loved school, or school didn't work for you, and you think you can make it better for someone else. And for me, I was actually, the accent is from Georgia. I was born in South Georgia and raised all over. I've lived in Okinawa, Japan, and California, and my father was in the military. And I was a child whose parents were not at all wealthy. And education was my ticket, and I want to make it the same ticket other people can punch to get where they want to go, wherever that is. So it drives me.
What envisions do you have for Jefferson County? Like, what do you see in our future?
Oh my gosh. Well, putting on my little crystal ball glasses, Jefferson County, actually, I envision growth for Jefferson County, to tell you the truth. The same things that drove me here. This is a wonderful community to raise your children. My 8-year-old son is in the other room, and he will be a Washington Patriot one day. Woo! And a lot of what drove me here was a community that's really committed to their kids. If you've never lived anywhere else and you haven't had the experience of a much more urban school system and a place where kids can sometimes become numbers instead of people with stories and families, you can't know how much that means to a family. And I think as more families discover that, Jefferson will continue to grow. And the very important thing for us is going to be to grow and accommodate and welcome people who want to be here and want a good life for their kids, but still keep the things that make Jefferson Jefferson. The way people know your name and they know your family and they know what's important to you, and they're willing, like Krista here, to go out of your way to build relationships with kids and to make it important to know what they want and they need and make their lives good. So you gotta be willing to grow and accept new people and change with them, but keep the values and the things that make you Jefferson.
That's very good.
Why, thank you. Perhaps you could send the school board an A on my report card. That would be awesome. I'm sure I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
So I think we should end on that positive note.
Great.
Dr. Gibson, everybody.
Yay!
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hit it.
Thank you.
smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Here I come.
Take time to be a dad today.
Daddy, I'm gonna find you.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
One in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Mascot Roundup, where we recognize Jefferson County Schools, students, and staff for doing great things or just being great. Jill, who's our next guest?
All right, Haley, our final guests are from Washington High School. Please welcome the members of the Ag Science Department.
Okay, welcome to Mascot Roundup. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
I think the first question should be, what is your dinosaur's name?
His name is Titus.
That's
The
amazing.
T-Rex.
Okay, let's get on down to business. What is FFA?
In short, FFA is a youth organization that is based on building leadership skills as well as agricultural education.
What sets Washington's FFA apart from other chapters?
Well, you see, we have a T-Rex. And it's awesome that we have a T-Rex. But there is a whole story behind it. About 2 years ago, we were helping another member from our chapter, India, measure her jacket out, get all the details into the computer so we could order her jacket. Well, we ordered the jacket, and a few weeks went along, and it came in. We opened up the box. There's this beautiful jacket in the box. The only issue is the jacket extends, like on my jacket, it comes right here, the jacket extends down here. And the arms of the jacket only come to here. And another member said, wow, the only thing that jacket could fit is a T-Rex because of the short arms. And so, Titus was created.
What began as a joke spiraled into insanity, and if you go into the ag rooms, there are T-Rexes all over the walls. They're everywhere you look, you will find a T-Rex. We wear them on our jacket as well, right here, on the lapels.
I don't think that's insanity. I think that's just high schoolers.
Yeah.
And their crazy creative ideas. What advice would you give to someone just joining the FFA?
Well, I think the most important thing is to take every opportunity that FFA has to offer, because you will grow as a person and meet new people and do things you never thought possible.
Yeah, you really have to join because most people don't join our club because they think, oh, it's an FFA clique, it's for farmers. What they don't understand is the FFA is open to everyone. It's not just farming, it's everything. We have members that are football players, we have members that are from theater, we have band members, we have a variety. It's not just for one set of people.
Where can people go to find out more about the FFA?
The best place to go is talk to the members. They have the first-hand experience to tell you about what we do. Another place is talk to the ag teachers and the FFA advisors. And if you aren't in an ag class or you don't know anyone in FFA, go on the website. It's ffa.org.
What are some benefits of being in FFA?
Well, FFA promotes a lot of leadership skills through competitions and all sorts of other activities that we go throughout the year. I mean, we have public speaking, we have the CDEs that promote leadership, and it's just a wonderful opportunity for everybody to get into.
Who is membership open to?
Anyone involved, anyone enrolled in an ag class can join FFA.
Awesome. So, enroll yourself in an ag class. Yeah.
Most fun class you'll ever take in high school, agriculture. You get to build a giant grill.
WHS ag class, guys. Yeah. And I understand we have a grill out back.
We do have a
grill out back.
Would you like to tell us about that?
Well, we have 2 members out there working the grill right now. They're grilling hot dogs and chicken wings for everyone. So,
Did you guys, how'd you get the grill?
Our shop class built it.
Wow. From scratch?
From scratch.
From scratch.
That's so cool, guys. Well, we're not out of time, but we are out of guests for our first show. So this is the end of it. So I'd like to thank all the guests that came out, the audience, to Jill, the garage band, our technical crew, our live audience. I'm Haley Werner, and good night.